Hello everybody, here to my first episode on my channel. My goal here is to learn C++ for my first programming language. Yes, it is a difficult language, but my goal is to go into game programming, and the best language to do this is C++. And I heard from a lot of people and everything that if you want to go into programming, the best thing you can do is either start with a easy language or pick the language that you know that you will use for your later journey. So that's why I picked C++, and that's what I'm gonna do. So as you can see, I already downloaded the Visual Studios for my later programming, and here on the right side I have my book that I'm using. It's Beginning C++ through Game Programming, and for now it's a good start, a little introduction into it, and better start somehow instead of not starting. So that was my first pick, and I'm using it for my journey, at least for the beginning. If you want to know how to download Visual Studios on your computer, I post a little link in the description. It's very easy. Just follow what he does on the YouTube video and it's fine for you. And here on the right side, I also put the link for this book in the description if you want to download it. It's free and you can try it by yourself. So let's start. Here on default is our little code already written. It's the hello world code. Here on up there I can run it, and then the output here will be hello world. And here in the book it's written here it's not hello world, it's with game over. So if I want to write it, I would have to write it here. I never did it, so if I make any fault, it could not work, but let's try. Return 0, and then it should be everything. So let's start. I did not change the hello world, so let's change that quickly to game over, and let's run it again, and we have here game over. Perfect. If you wondered what those green lines here are, those are comments. If you want to make a note on your program, you can just make a double slash, and then you can write something like for example, if you want to note what it is, the game over print, or whatever you want to call it, and it's just noted, and the compiler or the executor, or however you want to call it, will ignore it in your program. It's just for you that you know what it is. And as you can see here, there is not just my code that I have just written here. It's more here. Here, for example, the /include IO stream. I cannot explain it completely now by myself because I'm new to programming, but I have little text from the book that maybe helps you if you want to know it, but I think it's not necessary right now to know it. And here we have the int main. That's basically the starting point of every program. Every new program you write will have this int main, so it knows where to start. And here you can see the curly brackets, those two. It basically means that everything in one curly bracket in those two is a function. For example, everything in the int main, this function, also int main makes a function. You can make another function, but it's called differently. But in the int main function, everything in this curly brackets is what is executed. And if you have another function, everything in this new function would be executed there. And now to the last one, we have here everything in the semicolons. Like I read it, this should be a string, and everything from this string, that means the game over, is funneled into the standard library. That should this be, and the standard library will be at the end. That what will be written in the console when we start the local Windows debugger. That means game over. And at the end we have to make these curly brackets that the compiler knows that the process ended, and then we can return to 0. That means the process is finished, and so that the compiler knows we have to make these curly brackets. Now we know everything a little bit, so we can get rid of the statement. That means this std before everything. So we write using a namespace, and with the namespace is this std. And when we do this, we can put this away, and our program still works, but with less code. So we have less to do. That's, I would say, better. But using it like this could cause some problems, so we write it differently. We delete this here and write statement, and for the count, and then we need another using for the statement endl, and then it should work as normal. And we commanded them separately, and with this you will have in the future less work, because otherwise you would have to write everywhere this std, and you can use it for much more things, but we will later see where you can use those things. So that's it for today's video. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the comments below. Maybe I can answer them, or if you can help me, I'm open to everything. I'm happy if someone else can help me improving myself, and I will see you in the second episode.